Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. The solo adventure of the Boomsday Project has come and I am officially done with it. But it has certainly taken a toll of, I would say, 30 hours of streaming across close to 80 hours of a period of time. None of those points have I been asleep for more than, I would say, 6 to maybe 7 hours. I've been just doing a stream for 4 or 5 hours, taking a nap, getting up, doing another stream, off and on, off and on. And that certainly has pushed the Wednesday stream out. Like, that didn't even happen. So we've got a ton of news, and we've got 3 daily quests on a Friday, which is not what we usually have. Plus, we have a tavern brawl. Let's see, right now, there's no reason to reroll any of these. I need to win 3 games with Paladin or Warrior, 3 games with the Shaman, and defeat 3 monsters in the Monster Hunt battle. I might want to, just in order to be careful, save the Monster Hunt battle on the Americas account, which is where I am here. This is a new card I got because of the Boomsday Project, and we could go... Oh, I just realized why this comes up when you type new on card backs, because it has the word Lunar New Year in the name. Anyways, here's the new card back we won. We'll be playing with that, I guess, until there's a new month. Although I will be rather proud of next month's card back, because I am going to be at rank 19 probably. At least rank 19, if not a little bit higher. And I can certainly see these HS replay cards. Yeah, some of these you're never gonna have. Okay, Tavern Brawl. My options are Mage, Shaman, Paladin, Warrior. Let's hop into this. We've got a ton of news to cover. After this stream, I've got an ambitious idea that I'm gonna try to do with the puzzle footage, many of the puzzles. Let's see, Dr. Boom has been experimenting with the very fabric of deck creation. Choose a class, and then marvel at the latest deck recipe technology. And by the way, this is just a regular card pack too. So Paladin, hop in here and start playing. Yes, I'm gonna try and break up the puzzles and have an abridged final version put out. I don't think that 35 hours of footage really makes any point for people to see. Though those live streams will be up there forever. But if I was ever to stream a puzzle section like this again, if they decide that they're ever going to do that, which maybe they will, maybe they won't, I'm going to just try to hit the stop button, and after I've succeeded on a puzzle, start again, do a little bit of a brief pause, and then break up all the videos backwards. So the end of every video would probably need no trimming whatsoever because of the stop button being pressed, and then I just have to work my way backwards on each of those videos to the beginning of each puzzle and then merge it all together. Now, as I'm thinking about this, and maybe I won't get any more ambitious than this, maybe I won't even bother to do this at all, it probably would at that point screw with the audio.
Move quickly.
Why do I have 0 mana? Because the other guy's playing. I haven't had a turn yet. Interesting.
That was a mistake.
Also, my internet has, in some weird way, gotten better, but the... Let's see, what is this? Resurrect.
What would
3 friendly mechs that keep any magnetic upgrades. Okay. So that's in the turn. I'm gonna have to kind of learn this deck as I play. Yeah, so my thought would be to break up the videos and then play them all through a video player with maybe a crossfade transition in between each one of them, and then try to talk over that entire video playlist and see how that works. I don't know what the other thought would be, frankly. What else to do there? You know, Kriperian, he does his little intros and then he fades out into a game, and then he just kind of shows the whole game, and whatever he's not saying during that footage just seems alright. Of course, Kriperian also succeeds in having a chat that keeps him at least slightly I think we're just playing the exact same deck, which I guess would make sense. See, if I play this...
Which path to choose?
Yeah, let's play this. Let's do this.
To battle!
Go ahead and do that, and then your turn. Lots of people got on the chat to backseat drive during the puzzles, and surprisingly almost nobody said hi. We have someone on the chat, Sayad, saying hi. And they would just come in while I was recording the Boomsday Project puzzles and tell me what to do, but I had already said at the beginning of the chat that that was a special event and I wasn't going to even look at the chat until the end of each video, and I pretty much stuck by that word. I may have looked over for half a second and seen that somebody had commented, but there's... Let's see. This and let's see. Play this.
The light dims, but we fight.
And then this.
Converting stored energy. By the holy light!
Geez, by 7th turn, this will be pretty upgraded. Yeah, but otherwise on the chat, nobody was really talking about anything or asking anything, so I got a lot of comments, I got a lot of subscribers from streaming so much. So there probably, if there are big events and if I was covering other games, I could see myself getting down to a point where let's see, let's do this. Yeah, I could definitely see myself getting to a point where I could stream all week one game and then move to another game and move to another game. If I'm just trying to get a bunch of random subscribers, I don't know. I mean, it's impossible really to tell via YouTube if a new subscriber is watching any of my other footage or my old footage or anything like that. It's just kind of okay, I brought in some new viewers because of live streams. They're now in the YouTube suggestion algorithm. One assumes that the YouTube suggestion algorithm will continue to every now and then, when it feels appropriate, suggest my other videos to people in that fashion. It's possible that that's not the case. I have heard complaints and statements that actually it goes in kind of the exact opposite direction and pushes people from your small YouTube channel to people like Markiplier and PewDiePie, and tries to get fans who may like your content or have liked your content at least once. It tries to get them away from that into the big one. That does sound like something that YouTube would do. That totally.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, so we need to cover the news. We have so much news to cover. Let's see. We can do. Wonder if maybe I should just.
What would Uther do?
Play this.
Access denied.
Reporting for duty.
This one is just gonna have rush when it's summoned back up. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably try to cover just the news today and
Put your faith in the light.
skip over any games that even look questionable. So I'm gonna give them like a 5-second look, and that's kind of it. Let's see. Draw 2/1 attack minions from my deck. Do I even have any more? I guess I do.
Converting stored energy.
The light dims.
The battle.
We fight.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. Probably should play this next turn. I've got so many different things I could do.
Deploying countermeasures.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. Gamescom certainly has been going on, and I definitely feel it. I definitely feel like I have not fairly treated Gamescom the way I treated E3. Maybe it's because, to my knowledge, there aren't any. To my knowledge, there aren't any live streams of Gamescom, but I could be wrong about that. Let's see.
What would Uther do?
Let's do this.
Reporting for duty.
What else? But yeah, a lot of things came out of Gamescom, so there's a ton of news to talk about. Certainly, a ton of announcements of games, a lot of things about the the NVIDIA RTX video cards. More and more thinking about it, like the ray tracing video cards, it might be a lot smarter just to buy a 1080 or 1080 Ti, particularly if you can get one of those at a cheaper price than a 2070. Let's see. Magnetic Divine Shield. taunt.
Which path to choose?
Put your faith in the light.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I need to attack anything here, so I'm just gonna end this. We're playing like the exact same cards. This is weird. A weird tavern brawl, and if I lose here, it's gonna be a completely large waste of time. First article we have, GameIndustry.biz. Inky Pen brings comics and comic graphic novels to Nintendo Switch. Comic subscription services debut marks the first worldwide media app of its kind on the console. What I want and interesting here is what does Inky Pen offer? Let's see. So you could read comic books on the Switch. I could see a little bit of that. That screen would make sense. Alright, all other minions could be 3-3 by playing this, which is probably fine. So if I do this
Reporting for duty.
and then do well, can I do both of these? No, I would have had to done something different there.
Ungoro belongs to the Titan.
And now,
Okay,
The battle.
3-3, 3-3, 5.
Will be purged.
33 in the turn. Let's see. Inky Pen is a subscription service that allows users to read US and European comic books, as well as manga, which I assume is Japanese manga, and not getting into any small releases of like Korean or Chinese manga. Is there a big Chinese manga market? I don't know. There may not be. Includes series such as Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons. Well, inherently, some parents are going to have problems with that. Warhammer, Dark Souls, Assassin's Creed, and others. Webcomics such as Girl Geniuses will also be supported. We have no intention of selling content piecemeal. There are other places for that. And see, that's the thing, is that Inky Pen as a concept is already going to be like under the competition of DC and Marvel's offerings, which definitely don't like to share any of their profit.
Reporting for duty.
Go and kill that. And I've lost. I've managed to lose. Like, all he has to do is 1 more damage. There should be no way that I didn't lose.
Unity, precision,
On the other hand, while this is trying to be a Hulu for comic books, or I guess maybe a Netflix is a better description, because Hulu is a bad example. Try that again. Let's try somebody else's deck though. We also needed a victory on Warrior, and that would probably be a little difficult, so let's try that. The Inky Pen costs $7.99 per month. So isn't that straight up close to the cost of a Netflix series subscription? If you got a cheap one, maybe Netflix is up to like $12 a month. Maybe it's a little even more expensive than that. But I could really see Netflix just swooping in and saying, "Hey, we've got comic books, and we'll put it into our software so that you can read these comic books and just press forward on whatever remote and move a page forward." It's not the greatest of experiences, certainly, to try and read a comic book on TVs, even if it has some great zooming features, so it can like detect a panel and have and have that panel zoomed in on the screen. It would be much better to read comic books on a tablet like the Switch. I would say though that the Switch is a little small too. I think you're really, if you're gonna read digital comics, you probably want something about the size of a comic book. So you're talking a 10, 13, 15 inch tablet type device.
What is my purpose?
Let's see. Syed says, why don't you go on Twitch? Okay, here's the thing about Twitch. I do have a Twitch channel, but it's kind of just a secret backup of this that I uploaded all my videos just in case YouTube decides to erase all my videos and delete my channel at some point. There is a Twitch channel that automatically uploads that. So if you can search Rydo of all, that's RYDO_OF_ALL, you should be able to find my Twitch channel. And I would be more than happy for people to follow me there and watch me there if they're happier there. Right now, as far as YouTube and Twitch, neither one of them is gonna pay me or let me run ads and get a few pennies off of that. So it kind of doesn't matter right now. But for things like recommendations of old videos, Twitch I don't feel like is there. For things like playlists and channel customizations and just tagging videos and having all that information, Twitch is just a much newer service, and it just does not have an ease of use or the features. And mostly it doesn't even have the features at all. Hey, I've been getting epics like crazy lately. I don't know if maybe I've triggered something where they are giving me epics higher, or perhaps it's just a case of the drop rates have been increased. But you would think they would need to tell you about the drop rates being increased. So all 5 of those cards get turned to dust, which gives me 135 dust. And I guess I'm sitting on dust right now. I'm just gonna have like a really big pile of it. Like if I was to go here and just say like missing and common, is that AN or is it ON? Or is it that I'm just misspelling the word common completely? Like, I don't think I'm missing any common. So, missing rares? It's like all cards. Yeah, there's just a couple of rare cards here that I could potentially craft for 100, but I wouldn't get everything if I was to do that. And these are just wild cards. And then what? Just missing in general. I guess we could look at that. Like epics, all kinds of epics, and apparently I could craft one epic as it is. Epics and legendaries are all I'm missing on my main account. So yeah, there's just, I guess, just a ton of stuff. I could craft a few of them, and I'm getting dust. But I guess also I would want to just go back to the classic account and save the dust, because we have 2 more legendaries. This one and this one, and then I have a full classic account. So 3200 dust, or get 1 more of these, and then a complete collection would be done. That would be nice. Alright, we got the Tavern Brawl done. Now we need to play some ranked play. That's good enough to do it. See, Paladin, Mech Paladin. I don't even think this is that good of a deck, but we'll see how it works. Yeah. $7.99 is not a good value for comic books services. Even if your kid is obsessed with comic books, which honestly, I don't know how you respond to a kid being obsessed with comic books these days. I think it's probably pretty normal and cool for kids to be into comic books because of the Marvel movies and all of that. But then also, every single adult I have ever heard or seen or speak, even professional comic book reviewers, all seem to have been
Blessings to you.
pushed and raised into a very pedantic, whiny, annoying like character traits. It's very weird. Like, and I'm certainly stereotyping, but it seems like a lot of people live the stereotype in these cases.
Converting stored energy.
Let's see.
Job's done.
Turn. But I've only covered one bit of news. The other thing I would say about Twitch is the idea of Twitch doesn't seem to have yet been successful. It feels to me like the biggest of the big streamers are getting all the money, if anybody's getting any money, from ad revenues. Also, Twitch just changed its policy where if you had Twitch Prime, you didn't have to watch ads. They're taking that away and making people pay more for the thing that they were already getting. So they're gonna make Twitch a lot more annoying. Also, YouTube has announced that they're going to give YouTube creators the option to play non-skippable ads more, and so YouTube has a good chance of being a lot more annoying too. So yeah, both the services don't seem like they're doing the best job in the realm of treating the customer right. So yeah. Also, Twitch is It's also a little just more inconsistent. Like, it really, with their rules, even though YouTube is crazy about what they enforce and don't enforce on the rules and who they kick off and who they ban, Twitch is the one that has the list of Honey Pop can never be played ever, no matter what, and Yandere Simulator can never be played ever, and that game isn't out. They just kind of made an arbitrary list of all Japanese anime looking games, which I, at least from a distance, have a bit of fandom for those games and want to potentially play some of them. Admittedly, a lot of them are not worth playing. And so if Twitch is just going to have this big Western bias, or they're going to flip out because of something that is in a video game that they find offensive, I'm not interested in that. Honestly, Twitch is the one thing that I wouldn't consider moving over to. If I was going to move at all, I would consider instead doing something like
Reporting for duty.
well, there was this site called DTube. There's a bunch of pop-up places that try to replace both Twitch and YouTube as a new place. The problem there, if any of those are appealing, is they're brand new services, which might be good for me. It might, in the end, mean that I have a chance of catching more people's eyes, but probably not, because what will happen is nobody will be on those services, and so then I'll get considerably fewer views, and then less views doesn't really achieve the goal that I want. I would much more prefer more people watch my videos than I just make more money off of fewer people. So yeah, that's kind of the reason for why I'm not super focused on Twitch. I saw a lot of YouTubers certainly jump over to Switch. Not Switch, Twitch, but I'm not sure any of them really succeeded. Anyways, moving on, Shenmue 1 and 2 is on Steam. It came out August 21st. Since that's a good looking game, I'm not going to go any further with that. You should probably know by now if you want to play Shenmue 1 and 2.
Converting stored energy.
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. PC Gamer has an article. The story behind Late Goodbye, the song that defined Max Payne 2.
Almost out of cards.
This might be an interesting article, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip it right now. I think I have worn out my mouse. Like, I was looking at it, and the rubber grips on the side have actually, like, physically been worn down, and the mouse is now not really responding as well as it used to.
I am out of cards.
Well, I don't know how they are out of cards. He's got to have something here. This has to be a trick. He has to have some kind of legendary card that shuffles my deck into his, and leaves me with no cards. But I don't know what this is. Probably should have just held on to this card. But I'm not gonna win one way or the other. Like, if he really has 5 cards left and none of those are right,
Let's crash this party.
your minions cost 3 less, but die at the end of your turn. Summon a minion from your hand. Deal 5 damage to all your minions.
It is finished. You win.
That was crazy. I'll take the victory, but that was certainly crazy. I have no idea what he was doing there. Let's just keep on playing. Let's see. Your Gamer has an article. Saints Row the Third is coming to Nintendo Switch. This is a THQ Nordic thing, I believe. So, yeah, Deep Silver UK is the subsidiary, I believe, of THQ Nordic. Yeah. So, THQ Toy Headquarters is just coming back to life bit by bit. It seems rather obvious that the entire Nordic Games and changing their names to THQ was some kind of bankruptcy plan. And we continue to see THQ Nordic grow bigger and bigger and take on more and more, and I feel like they're just going to collapse under their own ambition. I say it every time. Like, every one of these stories ends up being the same. I'm gonna play this. Gematsu has an article. Ori and the Will of Wisp reveals Spirit Trials, which is some kind of gameplay mechanic that probably does not matter. Yeah, it looks like it's some platforming mechanic and racing thing where you're chasing after a ghost.
What would Uther do?
And have to get faster than the ghost does. Okay. Let's see.
Converting stored energy.
But we
In the turn. What's funny here is the gameplay I'm seeing is not really what I expected for Ori and the Will of Wisps. So I don't know if that's gonna really scare me off of playing that. I haven't gotten around to playing Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition yet, or the original version. So I think I own both the original version and the definitive version somehow. And there's more things to do. Noble sacrifice.
I comply.
There you go. Anyways, Ori and the Will of Wisp is due out for Xbox One and PC in 2019, so that's not even really an article that needs to be talked about. Let's see, Gematsu has the Sinking City Gamescom commented gameplay demo. Is the Sinking City the game with the girl? Or is the Sinking City a different game? I think it's a different game. There was this girl that was in a boat that was shown as a kind of a cool looking demo at E3. And it was a surreal like depiction of her and seeing herself as a monster or something. And that's not what this game is. This game looks much more realistic. You're playing as a man with a backpack on in this footage. Let's see. You can play this and this, or you can just keep on pumping this.
I comply.
At what point does the magnet thing stop being a smart move? Yeah. So, in the sinking city, it seems like you get on boats and go from point to point, and well, this is weird. The main character is now in kind of a Fallout-looking cutscene, is talking to this lady with her lips sewn shut. But yeah, this is, I guess, not a game I've seen before. It probably was mentioned during E3. That whole list of E3 and games that came out, so many games came out, and they really don't matter at all. Not until they have like real release dates and you're 6 months out and you're fairly certain that those release dates aren't going to end up being pushed back. Let's see. Gonna go ahead and save myself.
The light protects me.
Seems like it's always raining in the sinking city. It seems like you have some kind of inventory and you walk around in a sort of open world-ish place that looks actually rather big. It's almost like Venice, where it's just flooded streets. Which that certainly would be a smart idea, to have an open world and then realize that you're nowhere close to making that open world work the way you'd like it to. So, like, if you had a half-finished game and you said, well, let's just flood a lot of these sections and make them inaccessible, that would be an interesting thought, but you'd probably be so far into development that you realize that it'd be very difficult. What I'm looking at is alpha footage, and the city is flooded, so yeah. Alright, I've skipped this video because it's 12 minutes long. At some point, he walked into some kind of magical area where he's like seeing memories or something. Thing I'd like to see is the actual gameplay. So now I've skipped forward again. Seems like there's some kind of monsters that's hard to see in the dark, and they look like they're just like tentacle octopus type monsters or something, if I was to guess.
The light dims, but we fight.
What is my purpose?
Reporting for duty.
Job's done.
And then you're just shooting them and you have flashlights. Yeah, the sinking city looks like a very basic game. Like, just pretty generic game with one sort of interesting concept, an uninteresting looking main character though, and uninteresting looking gameplay. So that was a gameplay demo in alpha, and then I am not interested in the game because of that. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Do we need to talk about this? No. Let's switch over to Warrior. I might be a little low energy today. Of course, like after all this streaming and all this work I've done, like no duh, I might be taking it a little bit easier and being laid back on a Friday. Gamer Sutra has an article. Get a job. The game band is hiring a platform build engineer. That job is in Los Angeles, California. I've never heard of the game band. Let's see. And half of these job listings don't ever even mention what their company does. Let's see. And the problem with trying to skip bad looking games on Steam
Job's done.
is that most of them don't look so incredibly bad that it's easy to make that decision. Here's a game for like 49 cents called My Dream. It looks like it's total garbage, cheap flip of just like student project of some sort, just a mix mash of 2D things. I can close that pretty quickly, but most games take at least a little bit longer time to look at. 3 1-line raptors for your opponent, and then deal 1 damage to everybody. So wait till 4, and then echo. Let's just play this.
Job's done.
And then the turn. Gamatsu has an article. Scarf Gamescom 2018 gameplay screenshots. Scarf, you play as this white ghostly looking boy who has a scarf. I believe the scarf turns into different things that help you fly around and platform. This looks like another one of these games that feels a lot like Super Mario 64. Those old school 3D platformers from the Nintendo 64 era that seem to be coming back into style. And I guess I am kind of happy for that to come back. Sorry, my phone is going off. I don't know why it's not muted. Like, I took a special effort to make sure I turned off my alarm clock so it wouldn't go off, and then somebody calls me. Some random person calls me. And they never leave a phone message, so why would I respond to them? Scarf looks like it might be a fun game. The problem though is I'm not sure it will be better than A Hat in Time. So by the time Scarf comes out, people will either have to have completely played all of A Hat in Time if they wanted to play that, or A Hat in Time will be close to announcing more DLC or a new expansion, which they did announce a new DLC just a couple days ago. Let's see. I need to be able to play this later.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Does this one have Wind Fury? Not yet. The thing I'm not seeing in this gameplay though are any enemies for Scarf, so unless it's a completely non-violent game, And even if it is a completely non-violent game, it doesn't look like you do anything other than jump around the platform right now. Maybe this is an alpha build of the game. It looks very polished, but yeah, there's no actual gameplay happening. After your hero attacks, give him +1/+1. I can do this. Can I do this and this? Yes, I could. Is that the right move, though?
Nice little raptor.
Just do it. Oh, I played wrong. I played so wrong there. Yeah, Scarf doesn't look right. It doesn't look like too much of a game right now. It looks fine visually. It does try to invoke that PlayStation only game where was it called Journey, I believe, where you had a long scarf that grew longer and longer, but in comparison to Journey, this doesn't look as good as that at all. And in Journey 2, you kind of wandered around and did nothing. So, destroy a damaged minion. Can't do that one. Let's see. Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Just close that. Leave that one alone. Will this load? Yes. Your Gamer has an article. Soul Calibur 6 looks like it's a pretty meaty second. It's got a pretty meaty second story mode. Interesting. And then they're linking to some videos of characters from Soul Calibur. The Soul Calibur series always kind of had kind of a slightly longer experience than you would think. Do I want to play this 246 or destroy all minions except one? What if I was to instead say attack here? That won't work. What if I was to attack here? Get rid of that minion. Do this. And do this. And then return. Yeah. The fighting game Soul Calibur has two story modes, quote here, the first of which chronicles Souls Bandai Namco is already revealed. The other, called Libra of Souls, is revealed today. So yeah, there definitely is a story that you get for beating all of the Soul Calibur enemies in a weird way. Let's do this.
I will burn this world and rule its ashes.
Also damages the minions next to who met by the hero attacks. Okay. In the turn there. Moving on to the next story.
Flesh fails.
More
Try
of this.
crystal.
Gematsu has an article. Darksiders 3 Gamescom 2018 trailer, gameplay, and screenshots. It's funny. I am not really an expert in advertising, but I feel like I've seen enough of it in my life, haven't we all, to criticize some things. And one of the things I'm feeling with Darksiders 3 is the fact that so many of the other games are getting focused on from THQ Nordic, and there's not really a lot of advertisement that is happening for Darksiders 3. That I feel like it's just gonna be this instead of being a AAA game, which is kind of what I expect it to be, I feel like it might be just a AA game, or it might be a AAA game that gets a 7, not even a 7.5 by most reviews. I wouldn't even be surprised if maybe it gets down to a 60. And I don't want that to be the case, but I also wouldn't be surprised if that is exactly what happens. Deal 1 damage for each armor you have.
How long can this go on? How
Deal 1
long
damage to
can
all
this go
minions.
on?
Let's see. Attack all of these. Just get this off the field, I suppose.
I must choose.
In return, let's see. We've got a trailer that's a minute and 29 seconds showing Darksiders 3 footage. The thing in that trailer is they show the first 3 characters, but not the 4th character. So they're still very much not even committed to showing what the 4th character is going to look like. And then they have a gameplay section. Let's see, I'm going to watch this fight section on this gameplay trailer, because my biggest fear on the gameplay was how fast is it gonna take to kill all of these enemies. Well, it seems like that was really quick. Let's see. 2 damage to everybody.
What now?
Yeah, they either skipped the fight there in that gameplay trailer, or which I don't get the point of that. Okay, now she's fighting some skeletons, and she's moving fast and using different attacks, and moving, I feel like, faster than even Death did, although Death was moving pretty fast in the first Darksiders game, and that was one of the things that made it feel better to play. Although Darksiders 1 also had cases where you would simply have to slash on enemies multiple times. It still feels like you may have to do a little bit of that, get 4 or 5 hits in each time. Alright, that's 1 daily quest done. And win 3 games with the Major Shaman. Now, let's see, Even Shaman or Tempo Mage? Let's try Tempo Mage. Swinging around with your whip. It seems like the camera is more zoomed in on Fury now, and that makes for a better experience. I think I've seen some of this footage before.
None can escape my fury.
You asked for it.
Yeah, the footage I see of Darksiders 3 is getting better and better. I'm liking that part. It's just a lack of focus from THQ Nordic that has me cautiously optimistic, I suppose, is the best thing I could call it. Let's see.
None will survive. The light protects me.
PC Gamer has an article. The Dark Pictures is a horror anthology from the creators of Until Dawn. The first Man of Medan is due on PC in 2019. So they're making a horror movie anthology, or are they making a horror game anthology? The idea of a horror anthology is weird because I'm not sure it's ever succeeded in any of the attempts it has ever been done. Friday the 13th was supposed to be no, the Halloween series, they wanted to make it a horror anthology, and that's why Halloween 2 doesn't have Michael Myers in it at all. But then they quickly changed their mind on that, and all the other Halloween movies certainly have had the same bad guy. It's like, I recently played Ghostbumps, and Ghostbumps is on Netflix, and I streamed some of that for stupidity's sake more than anything else. And boy, are those episodes bad and just short too. They're surprisingly short to watch Goosebumps things, at least the first few episodes. I imagine the Goosebumps books are also probably pretty short. I should be talking about Man of Medan, M-E-D-A-N. It's animated with facial motion capture, so it's something. Yeah, they're gonna be horror games. I don't know, like, it feels like what they've done there is they've overcommitted to replicating things like what would be that game? Amnesia. Yeah. It feels like the Until Dawn creators have overcommitted to that. That being said, Until Dawn was critically reviewed well. Like, it made some sense. Let's see. Do I have any secrets that I could play? Alright. Next secret you play costs 0. Whenever you play a secret, gain 1/1. How many secrets can I play? I think I have to do something like this. And then something like this.
Just like you.
And then something. Deal 3 damage randomly split. This. And then play this.
Time runs out on me.
And this. And in the turn. So yeah, Until Dawn was probably longer, and it had a weird choose your own ending style horror game. Also, Until Dawn never came to PC, unfortunately, So the idea of them making PC games is exciting. The idea of it being a horror anthology series feels like they're committing too much to one thing. Like, why not just say that Man of Medan is coming out as the first of a series of planned short horror games? I don't think you should get far enough to the point of saying we know for a fact that this is.
We have many secrets.
Let's see. Yeah. Committing to creating so many more. Let's move on though. That story really is nothing. Let's see. Here's a troll game on Steam called Pachansky Mathematics from Ghost RUS. So that troll developer is still flooding Steam and still not really getting stopped. Interesting. Let's see. There's some new visuals floating around on the internet of Resident Evil 2. It's the remake of Resident Evil 2. 5 split around random enemy minions.
What to do? What to do?
See, I'm playing this Tempo Mage deck and I'm not sure I'm doing well at all. No, I'm doing terrible. I just don't think I have what they need.
Well played.
PC Gamer has an article. Space Hulk Tactics releases date set. Gameplay trailer teases explosive combat. Oh. Let's see. Let's jump into what kind of gameplay it is. It's a type down isometric game of sorts, but it seems like it's also played with some card elements. So you have both cards and you move your characters around, and then it seems like they've made some animations to make it look more interesting and interactive than it actually is. I assume, being called Space Hulk, that this is a either similar to Space Marines Warhammer game, or it is actually in that series. Let's see. It's Space Hulk Tactics is out October 9th, 2018. And I'll see it if it comes to Steam, which I assume it is because this is a PC Gamer article. Alright, it's been just about an hour and 10 minutes, and this is as good of a time as any for this recording to be broken up. So, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, click the notification bell, please. If you want a friend to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box that will help you follow me there. And if you want to support me, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam. Well, I got a lot of subscriptions these days. I've only gotten like one friend request on Steam in a very long time. And If you want to support me after friending me on Steam, I'm asking people to gift me a game either on my wish list or just any game you'd like to see me cover, or a gift card. Or if you happen to have a Steam code from a different storefront, you can send that to me through Twitter direct message. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.